Well, hello, Tube. Today we have Trout Fishing in America by Richard Brautigan. I've said this a few times now. This is not the first Richard Brautigan story we've read here. I always like to give a small little bio. Born January 30th, 1935, died September 16th, 1984. Um, he shot himself, and that death date is a guess because he was found a month later. He was actually found October 25th, 1984, and they just kind of assumed um, because of the state of the body. That's when he died. Um, he suffered from schizophrenia and clinical depression, and he was an alcoholic on top of it, which does not make a good combo. And what is there to say about trout fishing in America? Um, it is absurd. It's essentially, from what I can tell, a um, just a collection of like flash fiction. Um, None of the stories make any sense, and Richard Brodigan is just one of those guys that I read him because I wonder what he's going to say next. Um, so like parts like there's three of them that I want to read, and then you can kind of um, see maybe what I'm saying that it just makes no sense, and yet it's oddly addicting because it's just so absurd. So this one's called Prologue to Grinder Creek. Mooresville, Indiana, is a town that John Dillinger came from, and the town has a John Dillinger museum. You can go in and look around. Some towns are known as Peach Capital of America, or the Cherry Capital, or the Oyster Capital. And there's always a festival and a photograph of a pretty girl in a bathing suit. Mooresville, Indiana is the John Dillinger capital of America. Can't read. Recently, a man moved there with his wife, and he discovered hundreds of rats in his basement. They were huge, slow moving, child eyed rats. Recently, a man. Oh, sorry. That's why I don't look away. When his wife had to visit, when his wife had to visit some of her relatives for a few days, the man went out and bought a .38 revolver and a lot of ammunition. Then he went down to the basement where the rats were, and he started shooting them. It didn't bother the rats at all. They acted as if it were a movie and started eating their dead companions for popcorn. The man walked over to a rat that was busy eating a friend and placed the pistol against the rat's head. The rat did not move and continued eating away. When the hammer clicked back, the rat paused between bites and looked out of the corner of its eyes, first at the pistol and then at the man. It was a kind of friendly look, as if to say, when my mother was young, she sang like Deanna Durbin. The man pulled the trigger. He had no sense of humor. There is always a single feature, a double feature, and an eternal feature playing at the great theater in Mooresville, Indiana, the the John Dillinger capital of America. And just out of curiosity, I did YouTube Deanna Durbin. Apparently, she must have been a movie star that sang a lot, as all movie stars did way back in the day. So yeah, that's kind of a taste of this story. One story is a bunch of um, food recipes. One story is just a bunch of nature books that apparently existed. But I was going to read the final two as well. Okay, you ready? Prelude to the Mayonnaise Chapter. Excuse me, my mouth is dry. I wish this was a Polar Pop. It is just a gallon of water. You ready? Hope you're ready. The Eskimos live among ice all their lives, but have no single word for ice. Man, his first million years by M.F. Ashley Montague. Human language is in some ways similar to, but in other ways vastly different from, other kinds of animal communication. We simply have no idea about its evolutionary history, though many people have speculated about its possible origins. There is, for instance, the bow bow theory that language started from attempts to imitate animal sounds, or the ding dong theory that it arose from the natural sound producing responses, or the poo poo theory that it began with the violent outcries and exclamations. We have no way to knowing whether the kinds of men represented by the earliest fossils could talk or not. Language does not leave fossils, at least not until it has become written. Man and Nature by Marston Bates. I didn't look, but I imagine if you look these up, they probably existed. But no animal up a tree can institute a culture. The Simian Basis of Human Mechanics and Twilight of Man by Ernest Albert Houghton. Expressing a human need, I always wanted to write a book that ended with the word mayonnaise. So now we go to the final story, all right? The mayonnaise chapter. February 3rd, 1952. Dearest Florence and Harv, I just heard from Edith about the passing of Mr. Good. Our heart goes out to you in deepest sympathy. God's will be done. He has lived a long life, and he has gone to a better place. You were expecting it, and it was nice you could see him yesterday, even if he did not know you. You have your prayers and love, and we will see you soon. God bless you both. Love, Mother and Nancy. P.S. Sorry, I forgot to give you the mayonnaise. That's how the book ends. Now, you might say, you did not really talk about the book. How do you talk about these stories? How? You can't. It's like Willard and his bowling trophies, which is all the way over there. Otherwise, I'd grab it. It basically ended on a dad joke. And this is why I read Richard Brautigan, because I have no idea what he's going to say next. I have no idea what his stories are about, if they're even about anything. It's just way out there and just a lot of fun to read because it's just does. I mean, you could tell me because I'm very much. I don't even know what you would call this. What kind of fiction you would call it? Even nonfiction in parts. I don't know. Anyway, is there anyone else that writes like this? If any of you guys out there who are Richard Brautigan fans who've read a lot, is there anyone else out there that writes like this? And I'm not asking because I'm saying that there isn't, because I don't know. I'm actually asking because once I'm done reading Richard Brautigan, I want some more. It's just so kooky and fun, and I just love every single minute of it. So, Trout Fishing in America by Richard Brautigan. I have no idea what to say about this book. You can't talk about it. It's impossible. I don't know how to talk about it. Besides, it's kooky. It's weird. It doesn't make sense, but it's weirdly addicting. So let me know down below. Have you read Trout Fishing in America? Have you read any Richard Brautigan? Are you a fan? Do you hate him? I can see a lot of people. I can see the majority of people just absolutely hating um, Trout Fishing in America, but any of the stuff that I've read in general. That's it for this one, peeps. Cheers.